Good morning to everyone. Today we are here to discuss the second part of the fed and fast cycle. In last class we have discussed about the conditions and metabolism during the feeding state and post-absorptive state. This time we are going to discuss the metabolism during the fasting and starvation state. You see there is a picture and in picture mother is with food and one baby is taking and another is just looking. He must be hungry, he must be in a fasting state. So today we are going to discuss about fasting state, metabolic conditions and metabolic pathways in during fasting. What happens in fed and fasted state? In fed state, eat food, increase insulin, store sugar in liver, produce fat in liver, and that is storing food energy. And during fasted state, no food, fasting, decrease insulin, burn stored sugar in liver and burn fat in liver, and that is burning food energy. Here you see in feeding state, fed state, high blood glucose that leads to pancreatic beta cell stimulation and that leads to production of insulin, secretion of insulin, and then it leads to insulin dependent cells activation, and that glucose uptake is increased, and in that way blood glucose decreases, and in fasting state there is low blood sugar, low blood glucose, and that stimulates pancreatic alpha cells and that releases glucagon, and it has action on liver and adipose tissue, not on skeletal muscles, because the skeletal muscles are not having glucagon receptors. In liver, what happens due to increased level of glucagon? Glycogen breakdown increases, gluconeogenesis increases, glycogen synthesis decreases, glycolysis decreases, and fatty acid synthesis decreases. And that leads to increased blood glucose level. And in adipose tissue, what happens? Triglyceride breakdown increases, and that leads to fatty acids in the blood, increased fatty acids in the blood. In post-absorptive state, no food, fasting state, and there is decreased level of glucose, amino acids, and triacylglycerol. In, insulin secretion is decreased, and glucagon, epinephrine, and cortisol secretions are increased. And this is a catabolic state characterized by degradation of TAG, glycogen, and protein. Two 2 points. Number one is maintain adequate plasma glucose level, and number two is to mobilize fatty acids from TAG in white adipose tissues for energy and to spare body protein. The blood glucose level during fasting state is maintained within a very narrow range, and so the level of fatty acids and ketone bodies rises due to the metabolic changes. And the blood glucose is maintained by different methods, and one of them is gluconeogenesis, and the substrate for gluconeogenesis, as you know, you have read, that is pyruvate, glycerol, and alanine. Now come to the fuel store of a 70 kg man beginning of a fast. He is having 15 kg fat that produces 1,35,000 kilocalorie energy, and that is sufficient for 80 days. Protein, that is 6 kg, that produces 24,000 kilocalorie, and that is utilized for enzyme and structural component. And glycogen, that is 0.2 kg, and that produces 800 kilocalorie, and which is utilized for the energy purpose, requirement of body energy. You know, only 1/3 of body's protein can be used for energy production without totally compromising vital functions. Vital functions are very, very important to sustain the life. So, protein is only 1/3 is utilized for energy production. What is enzymic changes? We have discussed during fed state. These are availability of substrates, allosteric regulations of enzymes, covalent modification of enzymes, and induction and repression of enzyme synthesis. The most of the enzymes are phosphorylated and inactive in a fasted state except glycogen phosphorylase, glycogen phosphorylase kinase. Both are the enzymes of degradation of glycogen, and hormone sensitive lipase, which is present in adipose tissue and which breaks down the TAG. Now come to the availability of substrates. Substrates are available due to glycogenolysis, and which produces glucose from liver, and lipolysis, which produces fatty acids, and TAG in adipose tissues degraded, and which produces glycerol, and proteolysis takes place in the muscles, which produces amino acids. The key junctions between different pathways, here is the pyruvate and glucose 6-phosphate, which is converted to pyruvate, converted to oxaloacetate, and again it comes to glucose 6-phosphate. If there is anaerobic glycolysis, then it is pyruvate is converted to lactate, and lactate can be converted to pyruvate. And the pyruvate is converted to alanine through transamination, and alanine can be converted to pyruvate through transamination. Pyruvate is converted to acetyl coenzyme A, the enzyme PDH, and acetyl coenzyme A has different fate, synthesis of fatty acids, TCA cycle where it produces H2O and CO2, and synthesis of cholesterol and ketone bodies. It links the gluconeogenesis and amino acids metabolisms to glycolysis. You can easily understand with the diagram. Now what happens in liver in fasting state? And the role of liver during fasting state is the maintenance of blood glucose by production of glucose through glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. And the second role is synthesis and distribution of ketone bodies for fuel. Carbohydrate metabolism, what happens here? First glycogen degradation and then gluconeogenesis takes place, and which maintains the blood glucose. Here glucose 6-phosphatase is present, and which is very important because it dephosphorylate glucose 6-phosphate producing free glucose, and through both the pathways it produces glucose, that is glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. In both the pathway this glucose 6-phosphatase is important. So what are the actions or metabolic changes in carbohydrate metabolism? That is increased glycogenolysis, and during absorptive period glucose is ingested, and which is major source of energy. But after several hours blood glucose level goes down, and then level of glucagon increases and level of insulin decreases, and that leads to rapid mobilization of liver glycogen store, because pKa, protein kinase A, mediated phosphorylation and activation of glycogen phosphorylase kinase, that is the enzyme for breakdown of glycogen, and which phosphorylates glycogen phosphorylase enzyme and activates it, and that way glycogen is broken down and degraded, and liver glycogen is exhausted in 24 hours of fasting. Second is increased gluconeogenesis. As we know, the glucogenic amino acids, lactate from muscles and glycerol from adipose tissue